Welcome to this edition of First Look. Guess what? We have an ambush interview with Anthony Mason, but I think he just saw me with microphone in hand, and he ran the other way. I don't know. I'm hurt. Anthony. So Anthony's doing a piece.
Yes.
Actually, you're starting a series on really the housing market. And tonight, what is it on?
Well, what we're looking at is one of the things that this whole housing slump has exposed and the mortgage crisis is that a lot of people got in over their head. And so we're taking a look at the problem that's developed in the sort of, particularly for first-time home buyers who really, for a lot of them, it's a big stretch. The prices are high. You know, there's some loans out there that are very enticing. But the question is, can you really afford, to take this leap? And a lot of people have found in the housing crisis now that they went too far. So that's what we're looking at.
So you're going to tell people sort of what some of the obstacles are, some of the things you need to look out for if you are buying a home. But isn't it a buyer's market pretty much right now?
Well, it is a buyer's market, but still prices are high. If you're a first-time buyer, it's a big stretch for a lot of people. Prices, even though prices are coming down a bit, they're still up 85% over what they were 10 years ago. So it's a big leap, and there are a lot of obstacles, and we're going to give people some real sort of basic fundamentals to be careful of before you take this step.
Also coming up tonight, we've got a lot of stories on Veterans Affairs, a blue ribbon panel looking at Walter Reed and the care of Iraq veterans. We'll have their report and are talking to the president about that. We're also looking at post-traumatic stress disorder, and Nancy Cordes has a piece on that. John LaPook tonight has a very interesting story on you're as fat as your friends, basically. So it might lead people to dump their friends if they're too heavy. Apparently, I guess your norms are established by the people with whom you keep company. And if they're overweight, then you feel like, well, they look okay, then I'm going to be overweight too. It's kind of a strange story. I guess it's based on a medical study, but it should be interesting. And apparently, even if your friends are far away and you're talking to them and they gain weight, your norms change also. I'm confused by it, but I think John will explain it to us. And then Kelly Wallace is doing a piece on MySpace. As you might have heard yesterday, when MySpace policed itself, they thought they had 7,000 predators perhaps on their website. It turned out they had 29,000, and that might just be the tip of the iceberg. So MySpace is actually training high school students to identify pedophiles, and hopefully those students will fan out and train other students in their schools and communities so these pedophiles cannot exploit these young children or children and teenagers who are participating on that website. So obviously that's an important story for a lot of families, and it's really scary as someone who has two teenage girls who don't actually use MySpace that much, but they talk on their webcam. I don't know. It's a whole new world. Anyway, so those are the stories coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News. We hope you'll join us as always. Thanks.